Finally, professional teams can take cannabis sponsorships. And here we go. The Brooklyn Nets and New York Liberty become the first NBA and WNBA teams to partner with CBD companies. The Brooklyn Nets and New York Liberty have entered into partnerships with a CBD beverage company, the first teams in the NBA and WNBA, respectively, to forge deals with the cannabis industry. Now, the Brooklyn Nets are where KD played for a few minutes, and KD is an avid and outspoken smoker. Shout out KD. So maybe this relationship had something to do with that relationship. Who knows? The New York-based clubs are partnering with Mind Drinks, a hemp-based CBD sparkling beverage company that also made history last year when it became an official partner of the Major League Baseball team Chicago Cubs. Now, Mind Drinks seems like they're getting a monopoly on professional sports team sponsorships in the cannabis world. I'm guessing there's other people out there that would like to get in on the business. Who knows? Now, months after the NBA removed marijuana from the banned substance list for players and also freed them up to invest in and promote cannabis companies, the first team has signed a multi-year contract to make Mind its official wellness and recovery drink partner. Details about the terms of the agreement with the Brooklyn Nets as well as the New York Liberty have not been disclosed. But with the Chicago Cubs deal, the partnership involves marketing the CBD drinks and signage promoting them through in-game features. Now, you're either going to have logos on the floor or maybe in the outfield on the wall. Who knows? But that's what they mean by signage. The deals represent some of the latest examples of the mainstreaming of hemp and CBD since the crop and its derivatives were legalized under the 2018 Farm Bill. Multiple professional athletic organizations have contributed to that normalization, both with corporate partnerships and by revising cannabis policies for athletes amid the state marijuana legalization movement. Last year, for example, the Kansas City Royals became the second MLB team after the Chicago Cubs to join up with a cannabis company, Pure Spectrum CBD, which produces hemp-derived CBD products like oils and gummies. That followed a 2022 announcement from the MLB itself about league-wide partnerships with CBD brand Charlotte's Web Holdings. Now, the Chicago Cubs are in Chicago, which is in Illinois, which is a legal state. Kansas City Royals, I'm guessing, is in Kansas City, Missouri, which is also a legal state. And then also the Brooklyn Nets are in a legal state. Now, does that have something to do with it? Or is it a league-wide thing? Could they sponsor it, say, maybe in Texas? I don't know. Who knows? You're going to have to look at the rules and regulations. The New York Media Softball League, which has teams representing the Wall Street Journal, High Times, and BuzzFeed, announced last July it was launching a sponsorship deal with a Kentucky-based CBD company. Who watches the New York Media Softball League? I didn't even know that existed. But hey, good for you. Keep doing your thing. Meanwhile, the NFL's drug testing policy changed demonstrably in 2020 as part of a collective bargaining agreement. Stipulates that players will not face the possibility of being suspended from games over positive tests for any drug, not just marijuana. The NFL also recently announced that it's partnering with Canadian researchers on a clinical trial to test the safety and efficacy of CBD for pain management and neuroprotection from concussions, which is a huge issue in the NFL. So more and more professional teams, more and more professional leagues are finally starting to dip their toes in. And I would love to see it be as sponsored as alcohol. But that's what we're seeing. We're moving into that realm. So let's keep going. Also, a new collegiate athletics proposal would remove marijuana from the list of substances, including drug screenings for the NCAA championship competitions, with officials set to vote in June. The UFC announced it's removing marijuana from its newly modified banned list. However, recently, ahead of a UFC event this month, the California Athletics Commission said they could still face penalties under state rules for testing positive for THC over a certain limit. As the state's body policy is based around Finally, professional sports teams are able to get sponsored by professional cannabis or CBD or hemp companies. And it seems like we're finally getting to the point where some companies can maybe afford to buy those sponsorships. Now, I'd love to see how these people are all connected. I'm sure they all know each other up at the top. It's just like John Boehner was the Speaker of the House and said, I'll never change my stance on marijuana. And the second he leaves Congress and politics, he gets on the board of a cannabis company. So watch what they do, not what they say. And this is awesome, though. Shout out to the Brooklyn Nets and New York Liberty, Kansas City Royals, Chicago Cubs, and whoever the next team's going to be to accept a cannabis sponsorship. I really encourage you to do that. So, good news. Cannabis is spreading. Stay blessed. Don't forget to tip your bud tenders.